Okay, Mr. Bossert here, talking right now about proportions, writing and solving proportions today. A proportion, as we should know, definition of proportion is essentially two equal fractions, all right, two equal ratios or rates, and we could, any two fractions that are equal we can call a proportion. Typically, though, we will use this when we're talking about rates, when we know one rate and we're trying to figure out what that means in the long run. For solving proportions, and you've been doing this for quite some time, so method one is probably what you did in third grade, and I call it the old, how many times does this go into that method? And simply this one up top here, we've got 20 meters in 3 seconds. So how long will it take me to go 6,000 meters? Well, 20, if I think 20 goes into 6,000, what is it, 300 times? That's not right. 30 times? 20 times 30 would be 600, so 6,000. So 300 times, then I would do 3 times 300 to get x of 900 seconds. All right, so I'm just basically determining how can I make multiply by what mass 1. In this case, the mass 1 would be 300. I can use cross products. Cross products says that if I multiply 3 times 6,000, that gives me 18,000. That product is equal to the same as if I get x times 20, which is 20x. All right. So this is 20x equals 1,800. All right, my pen is the best. If I hold it like that. All right, 18,000. Nope, not quite. All right, very good. And then I divide by 20, we know I get 900. Or solve by inverse operations. Inverse operations, especially if it is, 3x over 5 equals 20 over 75. I could say, well, x is being multiplied by 3 and divided by 5, so I can use the inverse operation. I can multiply both sides by 5/3. And go ahead and solve that if I want to do that instead of doing cross products or whatever. And, any of those methods work, whatever this happens to be, 25, 75. Weird. It's 20 over 75. That can't be true. Anyway, any of these methods work, but depending on what the problem has involved in it may determine what method we want to use. So taking a look at this one, I've got 45 meters in 8 seconds is a rate, and I want to know how many seconds it would take to go 105 meters. Well, this one, 45, does 45 go into 105? Well, it does, but not evenly. So the old third grade method may not work out so well here. Now, it does go in, whatever that is, 2.3 repeating or something, Luke, is that it? So 2 1/3 times. So if I multiplied 8 times 2 1/3, I would get x. But again, that's not one that I probably typically would know or see. And so I'm much more likely, in this case, to do cross products, I would think, right? And then 45x equals whatever that is, 840. divided by 45. 45 Bossert. There you go. And then again, you have full access now to calculators. So if I do 840 divided by 45, I've got 18. 18 and 2/3. 18.6 repeating, which I know is 18 2/3. Now, if I did 8, and I knew that 45 went into 105 2 1/3 times, 8 times 2 1/3. All right. And that is 64 over 3, which goes in well, that should work. Ah, yes, my problem here is that 2 1/3 is not 8 8/3, it's 7/3. So I'm not very smart. That's my problem. Sorry. So 56 over 3, which would turn into 18 2/3. So the old method, works if you want to do 45 times 2 1/3, which is 7/3. So 8 times 7/3 would give you X, and it does. It gives you the same number as cross products. Probably in this case, again, especially since I have access to calculators, cross products definitely is better. Okay, moving along here. And again, this one I would definitely use cross products here. Go ahead and give that one a go. I'll hit pause and do this one real quick. Okay, now again, you don't need to show me the multiplication. 20.5 times 32 is 656. All right, you can write 656. You don't need to write the multiplication, but you can't just go to an answer. You must show, right, the cross products equation you get, and then your algebra step, and then again, you don't need to show this division. You can do this in a calculator. 14.5 and it's 7 repeating, and we know that that's 14 and 57 minus 5 is 52/90ths, which I assume is divided by 3. No, is that right? 52/90ths? Weird. Okay. So either one of those. Okay. Is this going to work? Check today's exchange rate between the U.S. and India for currency. Shreya just went to India. She brought back 850 rupees from India from her holiday trip. How many U.S. dollars could she get in exchange? So let's say I can do this. This works. I'm amazed that this works. Okay, well, look at this. All right, so currently 1 U.S. dollar is equal to 63.48 rupees. Okay? So my one rate that I'm going to write is $1 and 63.48 rupees. I don't know what the sign is for rupee. You can tell me in class. All right, and I want to know how many dollars she could get for how many? 850. So 850. It's not really 8.50. Sorry about that. It's not my fault. There. Take that. So again, solving this one, I don't think I want to use the third grade method. I could, now this one is pretty standard to solve instead of doing cross products necessarily. What if you just decided to, since it's x divided by 850, multiply both sides by 850? And so you should know that this is going to be Now 850 over 63.48. Whoa, what's happening there? So this one, yikes. Take that. Alright, this is really being awesome, by the way. Alright, so sorry about the technical difficulty. And so, again, instead of cross products here, I just multiply by 850, and then I got this statement here, so 850 over 63.48, divided by that, and it looks like Shreya brought back a whopping 13 bucks and 39 cents. It's money, so I would have rounded it. There's some other decimal places, but I would have rounded it to the nearest penny, right, or nearest hundredth. Attachment for video. I don't know what that means. All right. If we have, an equation like this where we got more than one thing involved, cross products is the way to go. All right. When I do cross products here, make sure that you multiply up to the numerator, and when you multiply up, all right, you're going to end up with multiplying the 8 times 4x plus 8. Make sure that you distribute. All right. The way that people get this wrong is they multiply the 8 times only the 4x and not the 8. So this ends up being 32x plus 64. And then over here 10x minus 35. If you get to this step, excuse me, it's just variables on both sides. Solve, subtract 10x from both sides. You get 22x plus 64 equals negative 35. Subtract 64 to both sides. You get 22x equals negative 99. And then divide both sides by 22. And you get x equals negative 9 over 2, or negative 4.5. All right, please give this one a try, and I'll come back in a second with the answer. All right, just be careful when you distribute again. All right, you're distributing the 10 times x plus 5, so we need to make sure we distribute that. And then we're also multiplying. Drop dead. Okay, drop dead. All right, I can't do it. We're multiplying the x minus 4 times 9, so make sure we distribute the 9 into that too. Negative 86. All right. That's what we've got for the notes on this section, writing and solving proportions. We're going to have a lot of practice in that in class. Thank you very much. Namaste.